Welcome to the debate. When two left-handed players step onto the red clay, the entire geometry of the tennis court it completely changes. The standard patterns we are so used to seeing, they just evaporate.
Oh, absolutely. It is a completely different sport.
Right. And when those two lefties are Alex Eala and Leylah Fernandez meeting in the first round of the 2026 Stuttgart Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, well, it becomes way more than just a tactical puzzle. We're looking at a profound clash of trajectories here.
We launched a chronicle. When a tennis champion from the Philippines goes from a wild card prospect to shattering the top 100 with clinical precision, it's not just progression, it's historic. The trajectory has been set. Look, we all saw the grind. We felt the puso in every three-set battle. This isn't just about match points, it's about the era we are living in right now. The reality is Alex is showing us what's possible, and we are here for the entire journey. This is the official scoreboard for the ascent. The points required for the top 10, the trajectory toward that historic sunshine double. We break down the clinical reality. So where do you stand? Follow if you've been here since the Rafa Nadal Academy days, or if you're just joining the ride. We are the Eala Era.
Yeah, it is a fascinating dynamic. You have Eala, the 20-year-old, full-blooded Filipino rising star, squaring off against Fernandez, the Canadian Grand Slam finalist, who obviously has these deeply celebrated Filipino roots. It is a stylistic mirror match.
Exactly. And in this mirror match, I definitely see Eala's surging 2026 form and her refined mechanics just overpowering Fernandez.
Well, I actually see this unfolding quite differently. Eala certainly has momentum, sure, but Fernandez possesses a champion's tactical pedigree. Her experience and her ability to problem-solve mid-match will ultimately break down Eala's rhythm.
We will see about that. But before a single baseline rally begins, every point starts with the serve. And that is really where the cracks in this mirror match first appear.
Right, the serve.
Yeah, because if you look at the mechanics of Eala's serve over the last few months, she has fundamentally changed her leg drive. By loading heavier on her back foot, she is generating this exceptional kinetic energy. She is consistently hitting 100 miles per hour now with serious bite.
Sure, she has raw power.
Meanwhile, Fernandez is really struggling. Her racket head speed on the serve has noticeably dropped, which pulls her first serve below that 100 mile per hour threshold. Consequently, her break rate on clay is sitting at a dismal 27%. If your primary weapon lacks penetration on a slow surface like clay, you are immediately on the defensive.
Okay, you are right that Eala has more raw velocity right now, but velocity on clay often just means the ball comes back to you faster. In a lefty versus lefty matchup, those traditional serving advantages completely disappear. Normally, a lefty relies on that slider out wide to the ad court to pull a right-hander off the baseline, right?
Right, the classic bread and butter.
Exactly. But here, that serve goes right into Eala's forehand strike zone. Because Fernandez understands this lefty geometry so intimately, she is going to rely heavily on body serves to just jam Eala. She doesn't need to overpower her.
Just neutralize the positioning.
Yes, exactly. Eala hasn't faced another lefty this entire 2026 season. That spatial adjustment is incredibly difficult to make on the fly. But, a serve only buys you the first strike. Clay matches are won in the grueling trenches of the baseline.
Jamming the returner is a solid strategy, assuming Fernandez can actually dictate the ensuing baseline rally. But if Eala successfully steps back and loops that return deep, we get into the heavy topspin exchanges. And that is exactly where Fernandez has been faltering.
I wouldn't say faltering.
I would. At the Australian Open, she racked up 32 unforced errors in just 20 games. A major reason for that is her vulnerability on the backhand wing when she gets pushed deep. Eala generates massive RPMs on her forehand, and she is going to direct at least 60% of her ground strokes high to Fernandez's backhand. Forcing Fernandez to make contact above her shoulders completely neutralizes her ability to drive the ball.
That is a fair point about the high bouncing balls, but you are totally discounting Fernandez's signature court positioning. She doesn't retreat to retrieve those heavy balls. She hugs the baseline and takes the ball on the rise.
Which is incredibly risky.
Risky? Yes, but by stepping into the court and cutting off the angle before the ball jumps above her shoulder, she steals recovery time away from her opponent. It is incredibly suffocating to play against. The real question is whether Eala can maintain the precise depth required to push Fernandez back, or if she will just drop the ball short once Fernandez starts rushing her time.
Well, when the baseline rallies become that physical, the battle inevitably becomes mental. Taking the ball on the rise requires immense timing, and more importantly, supreme confidence. Eala is riding a 15-9 season right now, including a landmark win over world number 4 Coco Gauff.
That was a great match.
It was, and when you beat a top 5 player, you start trusting your full swing on breakpoints. Fernandez, by contrast, is navigating a fragile 4-9 season with a 31% win rate. When she gets tight, she tends to decelerate on her swing, which leads to those exact unforced errors we were just talking about. Raw momentum really dictates who trusts their shots when the margins shrink.
Look, momentum is helpful. I will give you that. But experience allows you to manufacture confidence even when you aren't playing your best tennis. Fernandez is a master of staying present under pressure. She has won titles in Washington and Osaka.
On hard courts, mostly.
True, but the mental resilience transfers. She knows exactly how to manage adrenaline, slow down her heart rate between points, and force her opponent to hit one more ball in high-leverage moments. Eala is confident, yes, but she is relatively untested in the psychological deep waters Fernandez navigates routinely.
I think those deep waters might actually be a statistical illusion in this specific matchup, to be honest.
A statistical illusion?
Yeah, absolutely. For my final prediction, when you pair Eala's improved 100-mile-per-hour serve mechanics with Fernandez's current -17 winner-to-error ratio, the dynamic becomes totally clear. Eala is built to dictate the points, and right now Fernandez is beating herself. I fearlessly predict Eala taking this in straight sets simply by overwhelming Fernandez's defensive threshold.
Oh, I have to strongly disagree with that fearless prediction. I see this going the distance. I am predicting Fernandez in a really close 3-set battle. She holds serve 65% of the time on clay, not because of aces, but because she constructs points brilliantly. She will use angles to drag Eala out of her comfort zone, forcing a grinding battle where that championship grit takes over.
Well, whether it ends in a sudden strike or a marathon, this match is a profound celebration uniting the massive global Filipino tennis community.
Without a doubt.
It is going to be incredible to watch. We highly suggest you dive deeper into both players' incredible journeys on your own. Ultimately, we will leave it to you to observe the match, watch the patterns unfold, and see which style commands the clay.
Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching.